we're gonna attempt to do $50 on toys, and then somewhere within another 50 to 150, or something that will create a unique sonic identity. The transaction cannot be completed. Why? It says contact the branch. Are they open? Second attempt at getting cash. All right, let's go buy some stuff. So we've allocated ourselves $50 to purchase instruments. Could be one thing, could be multiple things. We'll find out once we get there. We'll find stuff that we like the feel of, and we'll move on to buying a pedal to affect those things in hopes to create something unique sonically. So only bad part about this is that there's not a 1/8 jack out, so it's only a speaker. Look at that. I try to stay clear of any already pre-composed music, just more looking for sounds. See, that's what we're looking for, a 1/8 out. Could be very cool in Spanish. And one great thing about instruments like this is that they're so thumb friendly. It's like working a phone, right? It almost inspires you to want to just play it. So now that we have our electronic element, we're gonna go into this pawn shop and try and find something on the cheap that we can manipulate. What we have here, we have a phase shifter from Boss. We have a harmony pedal from Boss. We have three distortion pedals. We have a tube screamer. We have an Ibanez and a metal zone from Boss. And then the big boy is the Moog phase adjuster.
Those things are cool.
Yeah. There you go. See, even this guy knows. This is my buddy Fred.
I'm a keyboard player.
Right on, man.
JD's a bass player.
Yeah.
We're talking about this Moog thing. Come up here and tell them about it.
Oh, it's like a spaceship.
Yeah? You cut me a deal on it?
I can see what I can do.
Anytime you go to a pawn shop, you always have room to wiggle, especially if you're spending cash. The deal was it's $170 with tax, and he'll cut off the tax and just give it to $170.
Okay, where are we going?
We're going to another pawn shop right now. That way. If you look down here, there's a sampler. And then a digital recorder. 230 bucks. I love knobs. Anything with knobs, I love touching. Here's our third pawn shop. We're gonna go have a look if there's pedals in there or anything that's unique that we can run electronic instruments through. I've never seen the Qtron. It's a great thing about this generation of research or information gathering. I didn't have this when I first started doing pawn shops. You just had to kind of go with it. So you pull up a video on YouTube, wherever you are, and then you can see what it sounds like. But is that enough to alter the sound of our electronic instrument? I don't think so. Okay, so we just came from the pawn shops, the three of them, and we're pretty sold on the Moog 12-step phaser pedal. 170. For a pedal that when it was initially released was $641 Canadian. Now online today on eBay, you can get it anywhere between $350 to $400 Canadian, and we're paying $170 for a used unit.
Enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers. Thanks,
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
I feel good. Sorry, it's my nature to just keep looking. I feel good. So we got 4 or 5 instruments. Right now, I've concluded that this is our baby because we can get single notes. So the purpose of this experiment today with the pawn shops and trying to find the right toy and all that stuff is to help you be better employed as a musician, as an engineer, anything that's considered kind of new audio, that you're not thinking in full verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, pop tunes or anything commercial that you're selling actual songs for. It's more thinking in 5 seconds, 15 seconds, 45 seconds for very specific moods or modes that's out in the world. So this was our sound source. So you basically, anything that I hit on this was recorded, but it was recorded through the Moog pedal. So as I'm playing this, I'm dialing in some knobs on the Moog pedal to change the sound of it. Some of it was feedback, some of it was all kinds of stuff. And then that was being recorded in Aria. You're now outside of the box. You're using exterior things that are electronic, and then manipulating them with outboard gear. So in the old analog fashion, if you point your camera over here, you know, you have effects units that were more an analog era and consoles like this to run it through. Nowadays you can use pedals. Pedals are just as equally as good, if not better. This kind of music that you're hearing right now, I do a lot of for commercials or websites or apps or things of that nature. You just need to have some loops in the background. It's perfect for video games, mobile video games on phones. It's huge right now to be able to compose music for, and this is that kind of thing. You know what? I'll try to sound my iPad, which is an iPad Air 2. Linear recording. I don't even want to edit on it. I just want to track it and then give it a little spice and then bounce it out. Is multi-track and studio track.